We're at the fortification hill tonight, and we're here to do an interview with Caesar, the leader of the Legion. There are risks of conducting an interview like this, obviously, so we thought about it carefully over many months. Here's why we are doing it. First, because it's our job, and we're in journalism, our duty is to inform people. It's been 4 years since the Battle of Hoover Dam took place, and the Mojave Wasteland is still feeling the aftermath. Both sides suffered massive casualties and are currently waiting for either side to make a move. But most citizens within the Mojave have little to no idea on what's happening within the confines of Fortification Hill. But they should know. They're paying for much of it, and they might not fully perceive. The war between the NCR and the Legion is a human disaster. It's left thousands of people dead. It's also cut supply lines, leaving the common folk to ration or fight for basic needs. And with this leads to a new contender. Mr. House, the proprietary owner of the Vegas Strip, is looking to be a contender in controlling the Mojave. 3 entities are vying for control of New Vegas and the surrounding region. The second and most obvious risk I'm taking here is I could be enslaved. I could also be nailed to a cross or have my legs smashed to bits, like that poor sucker in Nipton. But Caesar has provided me a safe passage to his encampment and has ensured me that I will be safe. So who are the Legion? From what we know, the Legion was formed after having seen the corruption and in fighting within the NCR. Caesar based the new Legion off of Imperial Rome in the hopes that he would be able to emulate its success, where all citizens work towards the betterment of the greater whole. He believes in his new Pax Romana, where the individual has no value beyond their utility to the state, and that the NCR will fail due to an inability to work towards the greater good. Now, most of you are wondering why I'm even doing this. In order for you to understand what is happening, we have to listen to both sides. Just like a coin, it has 2 sides. We can't just assume skirt man bad without hearing their justification. So with that out of the way, here is the interview. Mr. Caesar, thank you for taking the time to have this interview with me. Tell me, why are your methods in terms of showing people the might of the Legion seems to leave devastation across the land?
That's a good question. In the year 2246, the followers of the Apocalypse sent a group to the Grand Canyon to study the region's tribal languages. The group included the follower Edward Sallow, the follower physician Bill Calhoun, and the Mormon missionary Joshua Graham, with the last mentioned being a specialist in tribal dialects. Not long into their travels, the group was captured by the Blackfoot tribe and held for ransom. At the time, the tribe warred against 7 other tribes and suffered from a lack of skill in warfare. Sallow noticed the Blackfoot's martial ineptitude and feared that their more numerous enemies would soon overwhelm them. Unwilling to leave his and his comrades' fate up to chance and against his companions' wishes, Sallow instructed his captors in the arts of war, granting them knowledge in gun maintenance, small unit tactics, explosives, and military strategy, drawing largely on what he had read about the military tactics of ancient Roman legions. Under his guidance, the Blackfoots not only defeated, but subjugated the neighboring tribes and came to respect Sallow, following him as their leader. Sallow granted himself the name Caesar and began reorganizing the tribals he commanded into the Legion.
Mr. Caesar, this doesn't answer my question.
Mr. Tucker, please, do not interrupt me. I am getting to that part. Caesar, or should I say, me, established warfare policies in the Legion based on the Roman concepts of divide and conquer and total war. The Legion defeated the region's 7 tribes, from weakest to strongest, and completely dominated each tribe's land and people, subsuming them into his growing army. Those who surrendered were conscripted, and the remainder were either enslaved or killed. Caesar saw the tribes playing at war, and tribals viewed his tactics as foreign, accustomed only to minor skirmishes and raids that never escalated into major conflicts. Under the combined leadership of Caesar and Graham, the latter of whom had been declared the Malpai Legate, the newly formed Legion led numerous campaigns against other tribes, forming a fanatically loyal army of assimilated warriors. In the early days of the Legion, the powerful Twisted Hares tribe of Arizona, would aid the Legion as scouts. However, the Legion would eventually break the alliance and conquer the Twisted Hares as they had with many other tribes, erasing their tribal identity and crucifying those who resisted.